Bring the May 11th, 2015 public meeting of the Fayette County Area Planning Commission to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Baldwin's here. So I asked the Planning Commission if they vote to change the order of the hearings. Okay, so we would have them the public hearing, and then we would have them on Baldwin after the things involved next era. Yeah, yes, so the,
presenting to the board tonight with our agenda. I'd like to see if there's a motion to switch the public hearing involving Steve and Lindsay Baldwin and the home occupation after the public hearing for the text amendment to the Fayette County Area Zoning Code. So just switching the order.
yeah, because the idea is that we have a large number of people here strictly for the second item on the agenda. So that way, if they can finish and then they can get out of here, rather than waiting for the public, to be second in the order. And this would give a chance to, with Mr. Baldwin, since he's here for both the Area Plan Commission meeting and the Zoning Board meeting, that to then just switch those out.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Okay, all in favor of switching the order of the public hearing signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Brenda, could you please take roll call?
Yes. Brian Jennings,
Here.
Warren Sudoff,
Here.
Mark Flum,
Here.
Leo DeKing, Carl Hilton, Dick O'Neill,
Here.
Ed Harrell,
Here.
Gabe Nobby,
Here.
and Brian Waterman.
about
Jason,
Jason?
there you go.
There we go,
Why did I have
yes.
Brian? Everyone is here except Carl.
Okay.
Change my name.
Sorry about that.
Amelia.
Aren't you?
Next on our agenda is approval of minutes from the February 9th, 2015 APC meeting.
I move that we approve those.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Okay, all in favor of approval of the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay. Next on our agenda is the public hearing for the text amendment to the Fayette County Area Zoning Code. We know that there is a lot of emotion with this. We ask that everyone please conduct yourself in a civil manner. Also, we ask that comments be made to this commission, to the board. Sidebar comments, we'd rather, if you're going to have some conversation, that you please leave the room for that. Okay? At this time, I open the public hearing for the text amendment to the Fayette County Area Zoning Code.
Okay. All right, now, what I'd like to do first, yes, okay, the time is, okay, what we have is, we have limitations on time for the presentations for anything that's before the board. This is a little unusual in that typically we have the petitioner, whether it's a special exception, a zoning map amendment, home occupation, which we're having later, is the applicant, which is typically, it's 20 minutes of presentation time. This includes everybody who's going to speak, whether it's your attorney or another spokesperson. So everybody that wishes to speak, and if there's more people that wish to speak than that, you'll need to make sure that you do not repeat, because there's a limited amount of time for the presentations. It's 30 minutes for the, typically be 30 minutes for the remonstrators. In this case, it would be the representatives of NextEra and the property owners involved in that. And then there's a 5-minute rebuttal period for the first group of speakers. Okay, and so this is done too, so we get to the point, get through it, and get out and to try to make sure we get enough information, everything's fair. And like I said, if you have a desire to speak, if someone says something, the same thing you wish to say, please let someone else who speak who might have something different, something new to say. Okay, now, first,
Bill, just to get that into my simple mind, those who are here to have this text amendment change will have 30 minutes to begin with.
it's 20 minutes.
20 minutes, so
Yes.
they will have 20 minutes. Then those who would be against, so
It's
the
30
property
minutes, which would
owners, they
typically
would
be the
have
remonstrators
30,
against the
okay.
petition. Then there's a 5-minute rebuttal.
Okay.
It's okay, now,
Did that make sense to everyone out there?
okay, now, what, not everybody who necessarily is on television or out here in the audience are aware, might not be aware of exactly what is in the zoning code currently with the setbacks to the actual language. So people will bear with me before any presentations, is I'm gonna go back through and then the language, the existing language, and then the proposed text amendment. Now, the first part is the property line measured from the center of the proposed WECS, which is, I'll be using that term, that's for the wind turbine. That's the, I guess, the technical term that they use within the industry. Okay, the existing setback distance. 1.1 times the total height where the blade tip is at its highest point from non-participating landowners. The setbacks may be waived in writing by participating landowners on the WCS on their property. Now, what is people also need to understand is that in the contract that between Fayette County and the NextEra is it's actually 1,400 feet. So it's actually more than what we have in the zoning ordinance as is. Now, the proposed text amendment. Okay. 2,640 feet from the property line of non-participating landowners. The setback may be waived in writing by participating landowners for the WCS on their property. The second amendment is for the residential dwellings measured from the center of the proposed WCS to the nearest corner of the structure. And this is 1,000 feet from non-participating landowners. The setback may be waived in writing by participating landowners for a WCS on their property, but under no circumstances may be located nearer than 1.1 times the total height, provided that the distance is no less than 350 feet. It's the second. Okay. Okay, that's the existing. Proposed amendment, confusing myself. 2,640 feet from a participating landowner's residence. The setback may be waived in writing by participating landowners or WECS on their property, but under no circumstances may a WECS be located nearer than 1.1 times the total height of the WECS from a participating landowner's residence. Okay, the third proposed amendment is for the setback from, is the public conservation lands, public parks measured from the center of the proposed WECS to the nearest point of the public conservation or park land at 750 feet. This text amendment is public conservation lands, public parks, schools, fire stations, medical nursing home facilities, churches, and other public-owned nonprofit gathering places measured from the center of the proposed WECS to the nearest point of the public conservation or parkland, public parks, schools, fire stations, medical nursing home facilities, churches, and other public-owned nonprofit gathering spaces. It's 2,640 feet. Now, the fourth proposed amendment is the reciprocal setback. We currently have a reciprocal setback, residential setback. The setback for the residential dwellings shall be reciprocal in that no residential dwelling shall be constructed within 1,000 feet of a commercial WECS. And the proposal is to delete that section. The fifth amendment is the other applicable standards, and it's noise and vibration. Noise level of the non-commercial WECS shall be no greater than 60 decibels measured from the nearest residence. This level may only be exceeded during short-term events such as utility outages and/or severe windstorms. All other noise and vibration levels shall be in compliance with all county, state, and federal regulations. Okay, proposed text amendment. Noise and vibration. Noise level of non-commercial WECS shall be no greater than 35 decibels measured from the nearest residence, except the residence of a participating landowner. This level may only be exceeded during short-term events such as utility outages and/or severe windstorms. All other noise and vibration levels shall be in compliance with all county, state, and federal regulations. Okay.
Excuse me, there's people lined up outside,
Mm-hmm.
and they're complaining that they can't hear.
Okay, well, I can only speak so loud. There is the television out there.
No, I mean, they're outside on the sidewalk outside the building.
Unfortunately, I don't think the city of Connersville doesn't have anything set up to broadcast out there. The reason that they're doing this is because there's fire and building codes concerning occupancy levels and the public egress. I understand that it's a
I
problem.
want to consider maybe holding this in a larger venue.
Well, number one is we're holding this hearing this evening. Now, we do intend to have a larger venue for the petition for the wind farm. But at this point in
But
time,
tonight's business, all these people are not able to participate, is that what you're saying?
all I'm saying is that this was, we have restrictions on the size of the facility that we have right here. This is planned for the actual regular time at the meeting. So it would be up to the members of the Area Plan Commission if they were going to do this to table to another point in time. Okay, it would be up to the actual board members.
You may want to consider that. There's a lot of people complaining that they don't even have access to being in the building.
Yeah, but like I said, that's them and that's the fire codes and,
Mr. McDaniel,
yes,
I move to table this motion so we can set up a special meeting with a venue that accommodate more people.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor of tabling this?
Point of discussion.
Yes.
The motion was for video,
No, to set up a
or
venue,
to allow,
a venue where we can accommodate more people. I mean, they
Okay.
should be able to be heard.
oh, thank you.
Any other discussion?
because the Area Plan Commission has the authority to table. And if that is what the desire of the Area Plan Commission to do so.
Further discussion?
I don't think it's necessary. Is this being broadcast live, Justin? If they can find a location where there's a television set, they can go someplace in the area.
Are they able to make comments to the boo?
There'll be no other comments. He has already made it plain that you've got 20 minutes for people to make their comments, and then the 5-minute rebuttal, and 30 minutes and 5-minute rebuttal.
This
I'm
is
not
a
sure.
public meeting, and you're saying the public's not welcome?
I'm
Is
not
that what
saying,
we're saying?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying there's only so many public that can
We
see this
certainly
and
have a
see.
larger place that we could have this to accommodate people.
This is a
Let's
very
be
important
reasonable.
subject in this community.
This is a
Okay.
huge subject.
At
Yes,
this-
it is.
let's
It
be
needs to be
reasonable.
settled tonight.
A lot of rural people don't have access to even the Channel 3.
Are there any,
Seconded motion.
any further discussion from members of the board?
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. I think we should have a venue where people can at least hear it. I know that they may have access to a TV or whatever, but you don't have that outside. So I respectfully disagree, and to say at least we have a venue where everybody can participate and hear what's going on, regardless of how our opinions fall out. I feel like everybody has a right to hear that.
Any further discussion? We have a motion. We have a motion and a second.
Just a moment, please. What is Mr. Bailey? Yes, Mr. Tipton.
We're pushing the fire code.
Okay, all right. That's the problem within this location is the fire code. Okay.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of tabling to a venue that's more appropriate in size?
Roll
signify-
call, please. Should have a roll call vote, please.
Sure, we'll have roll call.
I have a question.
Yes.
What, Fire Chief, what was the comment? What's the
Okay, we
impact
are
on-
pushing the actual fire code on the occupancy of the building.
In other words, there's too many people.
There's too many people.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what I thought. I just want to make sure.
All right, Brian Jennings,
Yes.
Warren Seedoff,
Yes.
Mark Flum,
Yes.
Leota King,
Yes.
Carl Hilton,
Yes.
Dick O'Neill,
Yes.
Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Gabe Nobby,
Yes.
Jason Waterman,
Yes.
all in favor.
Okay. We will table this till appropriate venue can be.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I do it?
Yes,
I don't think it'll take long. I think this, that way this gentleman can hear that too.
yes,
It'll
absolutely.
take 5 minutes.
All right. Now, what we also have right here is, and Ms. Lotta, there's a request they're going to have for the Area Planning Commission with the rules for the presentation, for setting up a special meeting, and also the rules for the meeting itself, which need to be waived by the Area Planning Commission to,
Is this item number 6?
yes, that would be item number
We
6.
need to move that.
Yes, yes.
Hey guys, can you please be quiet?
Meeting's still going on, so please hold it down.
Then I would move that we move item 6
Next
to the
on our
next
agenda.
item.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor of moving item 6 next, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, item number 6 is next.
And this information was included in emails to members and was also included in the meeting packet.
Okay, members of the commission, good evening. I promise I won't take much of your time. My name is Mary Soliday. I'm the attorney for Next Era Energy. I am here, and I certainly want counsel for any opponent group to hear what I have to say, because what I'm trying to do today is very briefly cover the substance of my letter to you of April 27th, where I try to set out what we think are fair ground rules for the ultimate hearing. Now, keep in mind, many people here are interested in the actual public hearing on Next Era's project, which we would think will be the week of August the 3rd. So we don't need a decision this evening from you, but we're going to suggest that so people can plan all their schedules and vacations and time and all that. And so we wanted to, A, get that week out there, the week of August the 3rd. Secondly, I'd like to talk to you about your rules of procedure, and I thought everybody want to hear this. Because I think it's the benefit of folks in the hall to hear it.
I do want to clear the hall.
Thank you. As Bill said, your rules of procedure limit the time.
Yes, we are.
Limit the time to the petitioner 25 minutes, the opponent's 30 minutes, and 5 minutes for rebuttal and such. That is, in our view, not enough time for everybody, right? We need more time. You want to hear more from us. We have to present to you very detailed studies about the project, things that you'll want to hear about, and noise and property values and setbacks and human health, all those things that we'll be very happy to explain to you. But there are going to be studies, there are going to be witnesses, and I'm sure they'll have the same thing. So what we would suggest is a way to do this in that would provide enough time, but get us out of here by midnight. That's my suggestion. And I know that's asking a lot of you, because I think your rules say now that you adjourn at 11 p.m. So first of all, we of course agree with having a larger venue. We want to have as many people as necessary to hear both sides of the arguments. And so whatever facility bill, whether it's the high school, wherever, will be there, and it can be set up with the AV equipment needed and such. So we totally support that idea. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, what we would suggest is that there would be a situation where we the petitioner, that's Next Era, would have 45 minutes, remonstrator group would have 45 minutes. Okay? We think we can cover what we need to in 45, we would respectfully think they could as well. Then you provide your comments, Bill. Then we have a 15-minute period for questions and answers. So that allows time for you to ask questions of us. What that does not include are questions from the audience, because as you can imagine, it just gets crazy. I mean, if you have 200 people asking questions and jumping up without being called, and we just have to have, to everybody's benefit, order to the meeting. So we would ask that these rules be very strictly enforced, for fear that if we don't, it'll just be unruly. And then lastly, we have, so again, 15 minutes to ask questions of us, 15 minutes to ask questions of any opponent group, and then we would have 10 minutes to summarize what we hear, what we hear from you in terms of questions, summarize our application. Again, we would request that all questions be from the board, not from the audience. We commence at 6 p.m. that evening, not 7 p.m., so we can get it started earlier, and hope to adjourn this group by 8:30. Because as you know, members of the commission, you provide an advisory recommendation to the BZA. So it's an advisory. The BZA, the way your ordinance is set up, makes the ultimate decision. So what then we would suggest is we have a half-hour adjournment, and so we know the BZA has to make their own rules, but the BZA would start at 9 and be done by midnight, and with the same timeline. So that, we think, would afford a chance to get everybody to reasonably possible a chance to speak, hear, ask questions, and get this done in one evening. And again, at a much larger venue. The other aspect of our proposal is that there's going to be a lot of information submitted by both parties. We're going to have studies. I'm sure the opponents are going to have studies. There's going to be a lot of things for you all to be looking at. So we would suggest that they be provided to Bill's office no later than 7 days before the hearing. So if the hearing is August 4th, that would be, I think, July 28th. The point being is that gives time, Bill, to get things compiled, and we can certainly submit 10 copies, for example, Bill, so that you don't have to go off and copy things. And then that way everybody's got their own copy. And so that way we think, again, it brings order, it gives you all a chance to look carefully at these submittals before the hearing. So again, we think that cutoff should be 7 days ahead of time. We also think, of course, that the public should be allowed to review any materials we file. And so again, they would be on file 7 days before the hearing, both our materials as well as any opponent group materials. So that, in essence, is our recommendation to you. We think that that should work and meet people's needs, and at this point, be happy to answer questions about that.
Thank you very much, Mary.
Could you just explain in detail?
Yes.
Item number 8
Yes.
about questions?
Okay. What I was suggesting is, if there are questions of the petitioner, there are questions of the opponents, that those questions come from the commission itself. That they not be, that people for or against not be allowed to jump up out of the audience and start asking questions. Just because it lends order to the process, meaning the decision is made by you, not the audience, with all respect. We want people to hear what's going on, we want them to have a chance to participate, but if the audience, again, for or against, can jump up, ask questions, I think we'll find ourselves here till 5 in the morning, for one thing. And I also don't think it will just be very constructive. This is why we think that to have materials submitted 7 days ahead of time would allow time for everybody to study things and focus their questions through the respective attorneys and representatives.
And I just want to reiterate to the Plan Commission members, zoning board members, and anybody in the audience, is that what Ms. Soliday is referencing, she's reiterating what our rules are anyway, that they always be directed to the board, and that you not have the pop-up questions. And it helps maintain things that are all hopefully more civil.
So if I understand it right, the questions will come from either the APC or BZA, to a particular individual,
Correct,
and that individual will be the one that answers the question.
correct,
Okay.
yes, that's correct.
And what day were we looking at?
Well, we're suggesting the week of August the 3rd. Now, I know your usual meeting night is Monday. That'd be fine with us. If you prefer a different meeting night, subject to the schedules of others, we're happy to do that.
August 3rd is also the night of the city council meeting, so I
Okay.
prefer not to do it on
Okay.
the Monday night.
What about a Tuesday or Wednesday?
Well, this will give me an opportunity.
Or to poll people privately later, yeah.
Well, what this will do is this will also give me an opportunity to check availability also of certain venues.
Thank you, that's a huge point, because Bill needs enough time to plan, we need enough time to get the word out to the public, and then, of course, for you to block out that evening on your, at least that 2.5 hours on your calendars.
Yeah. Well, for example, one of the things, if we're gonna have it with the circuit court, just as for the meeting that we've tabled, is I just need to make the arrangements to when is best as far as related to the courts, commissioners, and anything else in the courthouse. So it may very well be that maybe Thursdays might be the best evening because courts are not in session on Thursdays.
There's two separate issues.
Yes.
There's what she's discussing is not about the ordinance change, correct?
Correct.
It's about the actual application.
Exactly.
And August 3rd, that's a fair week.
No, it's not,
No,
not
it's
this year.
not. That's the
Not this
week
year?
after.
No,
Okay,
it's
that
the week
had
after.
me
Yeah, I just checked it because I was worried too.
Yeah.
It is state fair though.
Yeah. And what I'm going to attempt to do is then to try to make the arrangements also to have the meeting that's tabled this evening, probably on the, try to do the same day. The circuit court would probably make the most sense because I trust that it was a sufficient size for the meetings that you had previously.
And how many people can be accommodated there?
I'd have to check on that, but,
It's either June or July, right? It would be prior to this.
yeah. Like I said, I'll have to see how it fits in with these actual schedules, because we still have the same requirements as far as the public notice. So I still need to have, the 10 days of public notice notification in the paper that we need.
Yes, and we also send individual notice to affected property owners per the ordinance. Yeah, which is is that by certified mail, Bill?
Okay, what we did is we made the change with the rules with the Plan Commission and the Zoning Board. And what it allows are through the post office, the certificate of mailings.
Oh, okay.
Which is to, we've had people that have been very thankful for that because.
Oh, they don't have to make a trip to the post office?
Well, you still have to go to the
Oh, you
post
do?
office with the certificate, because they sign off at the post office, the certificate of mailing.
Okay.
Well, what it does is it saves a significant amount of money, so they're a higher rate up to a certain amount, then it's a lower rate per unit. So you aren't paying 5.5, whatever it is for a certified letter now.
Okay, very good.
It can get very pricey for people.
Okay, great. May I answer any questions? Okay. Thank you, appreciate your consideration.
Now,
Yeah, we need
need
to
a vote
vote.
on any discussion, or if there's no discussion, vote.
Any discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. About a roll call.
All right, Brian Jennings.
Yes.
Warren Sudoff.
Yes.
Mark Flum.
Yes.
Leota King.
Yes.
Carl Hilton.
Yes.
Dick O'Neill.
Yes.
Ed Harrell.
Yes.
Gabe Nobby.
Yes.
And Jason Waterman.
Yes.
All in favor.
Okay. Request is approved.
Thank you.
Okay. And Mary, would you like to stick around yourself or have me propose that then to the the zoning board?
If you don't mind doing the.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that because I think all the zoning board members are here at this time. Yes, sir, Mr. Snyder.
Yes, thank you. The proposal of tabling this, I think, is appropriate in light of the people here. Is there any way that we will know now what the date is? Is it going to be your regular meeting, or are you going to check on venues?
Yeah, we need to check on the venues, the availability of those particular venues. And so the limitations we would have on this particular room would have to be either the second or fourth Monday if it's going to be the same evening.
Mhm.
Because the other meetings, as Mr. Nobby referred to, as the first and the third Mondays of each month, city council is in session since they're gracious enough to allow us to make use of their chambers.
So are you looking at a facility that can accommodate 200 people?
Well, I certainly hope we can do that in the courtroom.
Okay, I'm not familiar with your courtroom,
Yes.
so that works fine.
No, that's not big.
No, I think
I think we
the high
gotta go
school.
either
Yeah.
to the junior high auditorium
Yeah.
or the Wise Center. It's gotta be
Okay.
one of those two.
Mr. Hilton and Mr. Nobby, would it be, between the two of you being involved with the schools, could you see maybe what arrangements or dates might be available for us to make it a little, since you're both intimately involved with there, to get some idea on some dates that might be available for us?
Yeah, Dr. Brett.
Okay.
My clients appreciate the opportunity to have it somewhere where they can participate. Thank you.
Yeah, because if we can do it in the Wise Auditorium, that's where we had
We got a CAFO.
some of the, two of the confined feeding
Yes.
operation.
Right.
Okay. Next on our agenda is public hearing for home occupation with Steve and Lindsay Baldwin.
Okay, give everybody a chance to clear.
We will give them a chance.
Oh, good God, no.
I did it when I saw it.
Well, yeah, well, what it was, Chad told Troy,
Summer for
and to agree with that.
I think they're the
There might be a lot of people. So that's when Troy stopped by to indicate that they were going to be there to enforce.
I thought this was gonna be
I didn't have you on my minutes.
Yeah, I'm offended. I'm offended.
I was like, what? So, sorry, I got nervous.
I've been disenfranchised.
I'm sorry. Nobody caught it either.
I feel like going burning down CVS.
Some of this crowd here this evening for something like this is really rather meaningless.
Not the CVS, that's a good story. Any other story?
Okay. Well,
You know, clear
Mrs.
room.
Baldwin. So it wasn't Mrs. Baldwin who came to the door with me a couple weeks ago.
No.
Who was the lady who came to the door then, when I knocked on the door?
Oh, my daughter.
That was your daughter? Okay.
He's gonna look.
Tell me who it is.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
No, hey, hey, all I know is I'm just trying to be polite.
I get it.
So I saw you coming in and I was like,
That's what happens. If it's a
I don't know this lady.
Do it on the week of the 10th.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think it's fair to say
That's what I would agree.
it's
Yeah,
you.
if it's available, yeah. But one of those two's gotta be
Hey,
available.
Terry and Bill, because we still have people milling around out there and we aren't, oh crap, the door's open this way, we can't close the doors.
Yeah, we can't close the doors. They're drifting now, slowly.
Okay. That's right, I was gonna say, I was like, door's open the wrong way.
Yeah, don't even mention that, Bill.
Yeah.
Can't close the
Did
Leave
you
him
clear the
alone.
hall just to get this thing moving?
Yeah, I told him, yeah. Pull the fire on.
There you go. Oh, we won't tell Troy.
You know, you're not the right person to make a joke about pulling fire.
I know, we'll have new ones. Yeah, we'll have all new people.
Okay.
All right.
Think that, is the background noise down to where,
Yeah, it's
Bill,
okay.
you and Carrie?
Tell Mike to move. Okay.
Okay. Dave,
No,
you
has to
can't,
stay
fire
open.
code.
I've got a fireman here, fireman here. You got big privacy talk to them.
Okay. Who's gonna arrest him, right? Yeah, who's gonna arrest him? Okay.
Okay. Oh, police.
Okay.
My husband and I live at 308 Mary King Lane over by the high school, and we currently have an attached garage and a detached garage that has its own driveway. And in our detached garage, we have a gym, and we're looking at getting a permit to run our gym in there. We just have 1 or 2 clients at a time, and we've got our own driveway, so it doesn't interfere with the traffic or with the neighbors driving.
The appointments are at We meet with clients by appointment only. No one comes unless we meet with them and have an appointment to meet with them. So there's never a problem issue with traffic or parking or anything. So
And you had conversations with your neighbors?
yes, spoke with all the neighbors. No one has a problem.
We got a lot of signatures.
Mhm.
Each of the appointments last between 30 minutes to an hour, so people aren't really there for very long.
Yeah. So the most you might actually have is maybe 2 vehicles there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What are normally the hours of your operation? Do they vary during the day, or is it more in the evening, or? Well, it's by appointment only, but I refuse to do anything after 6:30. Okay. So it's always, now sometimes it's as early as, I'll have appointments sometimes as early as 8. Okay. But it's never late.
Between 8 AM and 6:30 PM.
Okay.
We have our LLC, and then also our
So we're insured.
gym is insured as well.
We have an online business also, so this goes hand in hand with our online personal training business. Okay. We have clients that we train across the country. Okay.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Of course, with modern technology, it's pretty easy, with Skype and all the other options you have available.
Oh, you actually work in it? Okay. Oh, isn't it just videos in the can?
No. So again, it works out nice.
Okay, any questions from members of the board?
No.
I don't have any objections to it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I'm up there all the time. There's never an issue up there.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we go and approve this.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call?
Okay. Brian Jennings,
Yes.
Warren Sudoff,
Yes.
Mark Flum,
Yes.
Leo DeKing,
Yes.
Carl Hilton,
Yes.
Dick O'Neill,
Yes.
Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Gabe Nobby,
Yes.
and Jason Waterman.
Yes.
All in favor?
Okay. Motion is approved, and you'll move on to the BZA?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep, so just
What
hang
drawing?
out for a little bit longer.
Okay, here, okay.
Okay. Director's report.
Director's report is next. Any questions for Bill?
I move to accept as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay. Director's report is approved. Okay. Last item on the agenda is adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
I bring the Fayette County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Get started with the first item on the agenda, Pledge Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I was just trying to get some things squared away with Gabe about what we're trying to shoot for the, that's next meeting.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ed Harrell,
Here.
Bill Crawford,
Here.
Carrie Steele,
Here.
Kenny Burgess,
Here.
Jason Waterman,
Here.
all here.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from January 12th.
Move to approve.
Second it.
I have a first and a second on the approval of the minutes from January 12th, 2015. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. So item number 4, did that just get tabled?
Well, I don't know.
No, not number
No.
4.
That's what, it's the next era rules and special meeting
Okay.
request.
Yes, is the exact same request as with the Area
Right.
Plan Commission. And Kenny, you heard also what those rules were? Yes. Okay. And so It requires then as a vote on the part of the BZA to waive the rules also,
So
as
moved.
per that request.
Second.
I have a
Kenny,
motion and a second on the floor to adopt the special meeting request presented by NextEra during the Area Plan Commission meeting. Roll call vote for that. Is that, what do you think, Bill?
Yeah, we did roll call vote previously, so.
Okay, Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Bill Crawford,
Yes.
Carrie Steele,
Yes.
Kenny Burgess.
Yes.
And Jason Waterman.
Yes.
All in favor?
Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the public hearing for Steve and Lindsay Baldwin. We did, everybody I think was here, so you don't have to, no, Kenny wasn't?
Oh,
For the first part.
Okay, because it was so loud. So I apologize, you'll have to go through the whole thing again.
Well,
Or at least most of it, how's that?
My husband and I live on 308 Mary King Lane. We have an attached and a detached garage. In our detached garage, we have a gym that we want to do a personal training studio. It's not an actual gym. It's just where clients come to us, 1 or 2 at a time, and train with us 30 to 40 minutes, or about an hour. We have our own garage, or excuse me, own driveway that leads up to that garage. We've met with all the neighbors and gotten their signatures and the certified letters given to them. We've actually spoken to each one of them personally. Haven't met any opposition as far as that goes.
Okay. I don't know if anybody asked about a covenant at the first meeting.
I didn't see anything with covenants looking for Western. It's it's an older one, and we do know that there's also other businesses in some of these. So I think in the past we have approved home occupations in Western Hills.
Okay. But if it turns out there is a covenant someplace and there's a problem, that supersedes.
Well, actually, what it is the we try not to approve anything that's, of course, in violation of the covenants. But ultimately, the issue of enforcing the covenants really is the other property owners through civil action. It's the preferred act. That's the preferred course of action. Yeah, because you can imagine the nightmares if the public entity was trying to enforce covenants from one end of the county to the other, from 50 years to 10 years old.
We've kind of went through that before.
Yes. You don't want to get into that.
Can you explain to people real fast what a covenant is?
Okay. The covenants are typically on the subdivisions. There's a whole list of things you can do, can't do, requirements of where you can build, where you can't build, what you can do on the property in some cases. Can you have a business? Can you not have a business? Limitations on the number of dogs. Some subdivisions have covenants that do not allow any type of accessory structure. Now, the idea of covenants is that it's there to protect the investments and the property values for the people who buy into the covenants. So it's private agreements. Basically, they're private agreements that are given to other people who who live in the subdivisions. You're basically giving some people control over your property
So
rights.
most housing developments or subdivisions have separate rules and regulations. Yeah.
And they can be more strict than the zoning codes.
Right.
The zoning codes are then more strict. You have to enforce the zoning codes.
Right.
Yeah. So that's it's pretty typical with the covenants. Because it's it's
Well, even a lot of the old subdivisions have covenants. Even Office Park's got a covenant, Town North's got a covenant, but most of them they don't regulate them anymore.
well, typically the means is the mechanism that's usually used is a homeowners association.
Right.
I don't know if any of the subdivisions here, once the developer builds out, that there's been any. I haven't seen anything in for homeowners associations in any of the subdivisions. That's the usual mechanism for taking people to court. People paying into the homeowners associations, those type of things.
Thanks.
Yep.
I move to grant the home occupation. I'll second.
The motion is second to grant the home occupation. Roll call vote.
Okay. Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Bill Crawford,
Yes.
Carrie Steele,
Yes.
Kenny Burgess.
Yes.
And Jason Waterman.
Yes.
All in favor.
Motion carried. Bill, when can they, do they need to pick anything up, or?
Yeah, they just have to come in, and then the actual, the permit is $25 for the permit. It's a renewable permit since it's a temporary use.
And now you're actually allowed to leave. There's not another meeting after this.
Okay, all right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, do we need to talk about your director's report? It wasn't on the agenda, but
I move to accept as presented.
Second. I passed out one for three of you. Ed and Jason got theirs.
okay, a motion second, so Ed, okay, yeah.
Yes, I had 3 months of information on that report.
All those in favor, signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Entertain adjournment.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. You can sign that.
Thank you.